Hi everyone, Dan here, and welcome to our guide for taking down Crota, the final boss of Dark Below DLC. Pretty much everything in this fight is level 32, so the more of you that are 31 in this raid, the better. The fight starts when all the members of the fire team gather around the crystal and start singing Kumbaya, at which point Crota warps in to put an end to your campfire songs. Right off the bat, you'll notice that your health no longer regenerates in this area, and a bunch of hives spawn on both sides of the room you're sitting in. As soon as the force fields drop, just kill the hive and try not to die on your own, and make your way outside. We prefer to fight Crota on the second floor on the left side, which we'll get to why the left side in a little bit. It's a good idea to have one person, preferably someone with Icebreaker, dedicated to sniping the Boomer Knights that constantly spawn up in that tower, because they will just kill everyone if you forget that they're there. As everyone gets into position, one person has to run out to the center of the arena to grab the Chalice of Light there, which basically just allows anyone who's holding it to regain their health. So just pass it around to whoever's damaged. Mechanics-wise, the only big thing you need to worry about in this fight is the Oversoul, which Crota summons whenever someone dies, and basically it looks like a giant big green ball in the sky. You just need to have your whole fire team switch their attacks to it to destroy it, otherwise it'll wipe the raid. Crota normally doesn't attack you from the position we're in, but occasionally he'll hold up his hand and cast like a wizard arc attack, which is actually really easy to dodge considering how far away you are from him. The fight is pretty simple, it's just getting the execution down that's kind of tricky. So basically a bunch of thralls spawn for you, and along with the thralls there'll be one sword bearer there, like the one that's on the bridge earlier in the raid. You basically just have to kill the sword bearer, and then one person has to pick up the sword and run towards Crota, while everyone else just shoots the heck out of Crota to burn down his shield. When his shield drops, Crota goes and takes a knee, and that opens up a chance for the sword wielder to attack him. And doing damage with the sword is actually the only way for you to do damage on Crota. Anyone else that shoots him at this point just gets an immune sign popping up. As you can see right here, we prefer to have our sword wielder positioned on this little ledge right here, since it usually keeps him out of Crota's attack range, and it cuts down on the distance he has to cover to go and damage him. Usually you get about 3 sword hits on Crota before he gets back up, and if you're lucky, the timer on the sword allows you about 2 chances to damage him. Usually we use primary weapons to burn his shield down the first time, since the sword wielder is kind of covering the distance, and then the second time we just switch to special heavy weapons to burn it down. After every time Crota gets whacked by the sword, he'll pivot to a new part of the arena. He starts in the center, and then he'll move to the right, and then he'll move over to the left. So that's why we start on the left, so that we don't have to move immediately as Crota comes running towards us, ready to smash our faces in. After 2 sword breakers have spawned, you'll have to fight a wave where 2 ogres will spawn and pretty much one-shot you in this fight if you let them shoot you with the purple lasers. As you can see here, we basically just decided to run to the very, very, very way back of the room and just snipe the crap out of them. It's actually really easy if everyone is sniping at this point, because you can start doing damage before they actually realize where you are and start shooting you, and anytime you precision shot them in the face, you stagger them. So that's pretty much the fight there. You just kind of rinse and repeat that cycle until he dies. The enrage timer usually comes around a little bit after the second wave of ogres, at which point pretty much every horrible thing in the fight happens at once. But if you're keeping consistent sword damage on Crota, he should be pretty low by the time you get to the second wave of ogres. Like any fight in this game, there are a couple bugs to watch out for. The first one we ran into was the sword bearer not dropping a sword when he dies. It's really annoying, and if you have our luck, it'll happen right as he's almost dead, at which point he'll enrage and then just kill all of you. The other major bug we ran into was that the ogres spawned a wave ahead of schedule, so instead of spawning on after like wave 4, they spawned on wave 3, which just caught us all out of position, and we got the crap shot out of us with purple lasers. Other than that, all this fight really comes down to is just coordinating the amount of damage you're doing to Crota's shield with where your sword carrier is, so that you're basically breaking the shield pretty much right as he's there. If you have any other questions about the fight, by all means post below and we'll answer them as best we can. Thanks for watching, guys, and good luck.